I feel sorry to the fans because the fight is boring. The fight is boring. Like that's not the fans are expecting to us.
Pretty certain Terence Crawford in his brain is saying to himself, I can beat this dude. You know what I'm saying? If he actually goes through with it, he'll be 38 years of age next Sunday.
Is the guy right now in the sport that's supposed to be the man, big bad wolf. You beat him, you the wolf. Now it's like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, well, so I'm gonna fight. You beat the shark, you beat the wolf.
Manny Pacquiao clowns Floyd Mayweather for calling out Terence Crawford, saying he feels sorry for the fans because this is not the kind of fight boxing deserves. Pacquiao points out that it will be boring, nothing more than an exhibition. He reminds everyone that Floyd has been retired for years and hasn't fought seriously in a long time, making the whole thing meaningless.
The fight is boring. Like that's not the fans are expecting to us. I mean, as a fighter, if I'm a fan, of course I want to see a good fight, like changing fight, not a passion show.
Manny Pacquiao hasn't held back in his criticism of Floyd Mayweather. He expressed that he feels a sense of pity toward the retired champion because his priorities seem tied almost entirely to financial gain. According to Manny, Mayweather's return to the ring isn't about legacy or competition, it's about squeezing money out of exhibition spectacles. He described the potential showdown with Terence Crawford as an event motivated solely by greed. For Manny, this reflects a hollow approach to boxing, reducing the sport to a business performance, where fighters walk in like models on a runway instead of warriors in a ring.
Now, in the beginning of this conversation, you say, I don't like boastful people. How was it like fighting Mayweather then? Did he get on your nerves? Because I feel like he's a little bit more boastful than the people you might be wanting to hang out with.
Yeah, he's boastful. I think his God is the material things, money, everything like that. I'm pity with him because I want to share the word of God in him if he believe God.
Yeah. I've heard he's a generous man. I think he's done good things. I think, he kind of reminds me of like a lot of people are like this, by the way, including myself. I'm not just saying him. I'm including myself. The man who goes up to Jesus and says, what should I do to get into heaven? He says, sell all your belongings. And he walked away crying because he couldn't sell his belongings.
Exactly.
The announcement that Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson will meet in 2026 sent shockwaves across the boxing world. Analysts quickly pointed out that this isn't a clash between two fighters at their peak, but an entertainment spectacle designed purely for revenue. The bout is being billed as a warm-up for Mayweather before a potential fight with Terence Crawford in the same year. Observers note that both events are structured around financial gain, with massive pay-per-view numbers expected. Tyson still holds legendary status, and Floyd maintains his global brand, so the event will draw worldwide attention, regardless of its lack of sporting significance.
Broadcast for Jake and Tyson, and some people like the likes of Carl Froch viewed that as an endorsement. Like, look, man, I'm just working. It's a big opportunity to be on Netflix. I didn't put the fight together. I'm not paying these guys. So, let's chill out. But all right, I'm not going to poo-poo this. I just don't know what CSI is. And the way it was presented made me think that there was like a secondary press release to come, that they'll be involved in like some sort of like virtual boxing thing. Like, it just didn't seem real. You know why it didn't seem real? I'll tell you why. There's no date attached to it. There's no venue attached to it. Forget rules, exhibition, not exhibition, weight. I mean, here's a guy who fought a heavyweight forget all that. These things can get figured out, the fine details. The fact that it was announced, why announce something with no date or location attached to it? What's the point? Unless you're just trying to get people excited and trying to get them, trying to get some investors or something like that.
But maybe also testing the waters. If the response was overwhelmingly positive, maybe you go, okay, we move forward. If the response is muted or negative, maybe you go, okay, we're not going to actually do this. You lob it out there as a way to poll the public, and then make an adjustment.
So you don't think it happens?
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero, after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul, I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike Tyson do that again.
Terence Crawford has consistently shown admiration for Manny Pacquiao. Speaking about the Filipino icon, Crawford emphasized that Manny's career stands alone in boxing history. Pacquiao captured titles across multiple weight divisions, often fighting and beating bigger opponents against the odds. Crawford believes Pacquiao's success was not only historic but nearly impossible to repeat. He credits Pacquiao for achieving greatness in a unique era by taking on challenges no other fighter would dare attempt.
Shocked the world, not me, but shocked the world. This past Saturday, Mexican Independence Day weekend, what he took on and defeated another first ballot Hall of Famer, but he essentially jumped up 3 weight classes, technically 2, from 154 to 168, but only had 1 fight at 154 last August against Israel Majimov. Terence Crawford defeated Saul Canelo Alvarez, who is a 4-division champion, 2-time undisputed super middleweight, and the reigning, at the time, super middleweight world champion, undisputed world champion. And Terence Crawford beat him handily and convincingly. And because he beat him so easily, now the 63 win, 3 loss, 2 draw, 39 win by way of knockout, biggest threat has been now imposed on Terence Bud Crawford. And that's the Mexican Ecuadorian monster, David Benavidez, who is a 2-division undefeated world champion, is the 2-time WBC super middleweight and reigning WBC light heavyweight, 175-pound champion, who has a record of 30 wins, no loss, no draw, 24 wins by way of knockout. He stands 6'2" with a 75-inch arm reach. This is a fight that David Benavidez has been calling for Canelo Alvarez when he was at 168, and Canelo Alvarez strategically maneuvered around him. But Canelo Alvarez is 5'7" with a 70-inch arm reach, started his career at 147 pounds, made his real name at 154 pounds. He's not a big guy, okay? And styles make fights. Benavidez is 6'2" with a 75-inch arm reach. His last fight at 168 against Demetrius Andrade, he rehydrated to 193. So he's a big guy. Canelo Alvarez probably rehydrate to 182, maybe 185 max, right? He's not a big guy, right?
The idea of Terence Crawford facing David Benavidez has become a hot topic among boxing fans. Benavidez is viewed as one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport today, with size, youth, and relentless aggression on his side. Supporters believe this matchup would test Crawford in ways no other opponent has. Still, no official confirmation has been made, leaving the debate in the realm of speculation. The conversation itself reflects what fans are truly craving: meaningful, high-risk fights that go beyond exhibitions and celebrity-driven events.
Because you got to remember, Canelo is the guy right now in the sport that's supposed to be the man, big bad wolf. You beat him, you the wolf. Now it's like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, well, so I'm going to fight. You beat the shark, you beat the wolf. Right. Damn. Like, you know what I mean? Ain't no more ops out there. It's ops out there, but who gonna make them really want to get up? That's the
shit got to make sense. Like you said, you be the shark and then you be the wolf.
Yeah.
But there's the monster.
Yeah, there is, but that's like a real monster.
Bro, that's to me it don't make sense. But
that's really a monster.
Yo, is that proof? All right, we got the legendary Pape in the building. Legend.
Sure, man.
But what makes sense? Like, what makes the most sense? I know you said get a line of suits, Brooks Brothers.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Your line of suits, get your money, man. Hey, go ahead and get the easy money, man. You ain't got to sweat no more. Not saying you ain't got to work, you ain't got to sweat. He's paved a career where he could sit down at a table and get this money. He could come out with a Terence Crawford series now, just doing whatever he like to do. People gonna watch it. Nobody, the fighting part, people don't understand what it's like to be a fighter. A lot of times fighters really don't be interested in certain fights. It's cause when a guy see himself up here and then is fighting a guy down here, it don't interest him. So therefore, when he train, he not gonna really train. He gonna train, but he not gonna train. He not gonna listen. He gonna feel like his coach taking it too serious, and he's like, man, this ain't even that. But your coach like, listen, you can get fucked up. I'm telling you. You don't want to listen. Then you go in there and fight that guy. Then you get fucked up. I've seen it happen.
Trainer Greg Hackett spoke with high praise when reflecting on Terence Crawford's stunning victory over Canelo Alvarez. He referred to Canelo as the shark of boxing, A symbol of dominance who controlled the sport with strength and skill for years. In Hackett's view, Crawford didn't just face Canelo, he dismantled him. That performance signals a shift in power at the top of the boxing world. Crawford has now become the predator in the waters, the fighter everyone else must fear. Hackett's remarks raise an important question. If Crawford beat the toughest fighter of his generation, who's left that can truly test him? With Crawford at the peak of his powers, fans are left wondering, will he continue his reign or retire on top?